Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. I think tonight we're mostly going to talk about VXP weekend and the implications moving forward. Um, Based on there's been a lot of changes starting last night and continuing into today. So the link is there for in case anybody would like to join. We still have more spots, so it's there. So let's say hello to everybody. Lady Cat,
Hello.
Magic Mike,
Hi, everyone.
and Saint,
G'day, everyone.
and Derpy. Okay. Let's move forward. Derpy might be having some technical issues, so let's move forward. All right.
Cormorant.
Yeah. Well, let's one more click. Um, some of these, the first fix was put in place last night, at least if you're East Coast time, that cormorants can now fire underwater. And now they act more like a gale than some of the other countermeasures we've seen before, meaning they will not tag a incoming projectile, meaning that it can fire more than once at an incoming projectile. And generally what you want, if that's happening, is longer range, higher projectile speed so it can reach it and then fire again. And higher accuracy is always a thing, but that's not happening with the cormorants because it is a countermeasure. And if you go through all your specials, you're not going to see a lot of things that are upping your accuracy. But the countermeasure special that was provided, the limited countermeasure special that was provided during the raid, does a good job across the board. I highly recommend everybody put it on. There was another change that was made around somewhere between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock East Coast time on the Ronin Hero CM shield, where it allows the same thing, and it also increases the CM shield accuracy from 135 to 400. And I think we're going to try and test that out. As far as I know, Derpy, when he comes back, he seems to be having issues. He put a video out that was good today, but I'm not sure it included the last two updates. So we'll see what happens with that. I talked to him earlier, and we're going to go through that. I have only watched videos and whatnot because my Ronin fleet is not going to be ready for VXP weekend until about 16 hours from now. So that's what I'm waiting for personally. So, Derpy will be back in 10 minutes when he's finished walking the dogs. Is that a euphemism? Okay. So, the accuracy increase could be a big change. I've seen things going on in Discord that show people are taking no concussive damage afterwards. They are loaded up on cormorants, and they're also probably driving the way the Kickset wants you to drive at this point in time. So, I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on any of this?
No, I didn't have time to put them on, so.
Yeah.
No, I haven't had time yet, but it's a bit worrying that he's gone up. The shield's gone up to 400%, but the cormorants are only still at 70% or whatever they are.
So, yeah, 60 or 70, whatever it is. Yeah, that's
How effective are they actually going to be?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the right group here for this. So, does it mean the best browser to use on a phone for the HTML5?
I have not tried it on my phone.
On your watch?
No, I've not put it on my. No. No, it's not on my phone. It's nowhere.
Okay. So, I do not know at this point in time. And it sounds processor intensive, so I'm not certain. So we've gone through this part. This, when I saw this came out, when they announced this last night, it didn't really come out. It came out somewhat last night and then somewhat today. It worried me. I mean, because Cormorant is, it's not tier locked, it's not class locked or anything like that. So it did worry me a little bit that we're getting, a big change in the mechanic. Because everybody's used to the MDS, the missile defense system, the Cormorants, the Sprints, whatnot. They work in a way where they only fire at one target each time. It's not changing all of them. It's just changing it for the Cormorants, which you can put on anything. So as far as how things move forward, it's a little bit tricky. But yeah, we'll see how this works. This decision works out in the future. So, all right. Does anybody else have anything on this, on the bug fixes?
Nope.
Okay. As far as actually hitting these targets, has anybody found any? A lot of times with the VXP targets, you can find a little niche. Somewhere you can go and find a lot of VXP points without
Dying.
dying or taking a lot of damage. When I looked at these, like I said, mine's not going to be ready till around noon my time tomorrow. Has anybody found any strategies as far as making the VXP targets a little less painful relative? Because there's two things that we look for in the VXP targets. One is how can we get everything ranked up for free, and number two is how do we look at this target being a raid target coming up. Has anybody seen anything related to either one of those things?
I haven't even tried the target yet.
I went in at lunchtime and tried. I only had like 2 torps on each one and didn't appear to do much, if any, damage at all to the ships after me. So I just basically died. 9.5 hours damage.
Whoopee.
So I'm still repairing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was similar. I just took one ship in, just to have a look, only with 3 torps on. It barely scratched, and I wasn't expecting it to, but it barely scratched the surface and died within just a few torps hitting it. So
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a suicide this time. I got 10,500 VXP on one ship without any crews on, so I don't think it's going to take too long to suicide them over the weekend. But
the way you were driving them, were you driving them like boom, like we're in there, or were you driving them in such a way that you were minimizing the number of ships that you activated?
There's only 2.
I just literally activated 2 ships. That's all I could.
Yeah. That's what I saw as well. As far as you 2 was, the minimum you could do. I didn't see any like weak points looking at the targets where you could go, okay, we're just going to activate one at a time and then go from target to target in order to get VXP more from the offensive side than the defensive side.
Yeah, and without an engine in VXP, you're just so much slower and so much less maneuverable than them that you just can't get away from them.
Right. I couldn't turn. They were running straight at me, so I couldn't keep them in the anti-torpedo range on the sides.
Yep.
So that's going to be hard. Although, I mean, it might be better once they have an engine on, but it's going to be tricky to drive these things.
Yeah, which one? It's just not awful. I don't, mind the targets being a little trickier to drive than they have been historically.
Well, because you have to come at them sideways, and they're coming right at you. So it's not like you can keep them in your range ring on the side all the time.
Yeah.
You're either running from them or to them or away from. Yeah, it's just going to be tricky. That's all.
Okay.
Some of us it'll be trickier than for others, I'm sure.
Yeah, generally we see 4 is 4 times with the and then James is if you have the leftover repair tokens, I agree it's a good time to use them because you have a better chance. Especially I have a freaking glut of grease monkeys, so some combination of the two. I'll get it done tomorrow, but
Well, we have till Monday, right?
or Sunday.
Yeah, you get 3 days to do it, so it's no rush.
Yeah.
So kill them and let them, repair overnight, and then kill them and let them repair during the day. And kill them again. It'll get done. Just not fun, and you can't do other things.
Well, what else are you going to be doing?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, because I have not really seen. Too much else to be doing. I mean, the TLCs are. There's nothing really else to do. And welcome back, Derpy, and hey TSM.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Pretty good. Have you got any tips and tricks? Is somebody like to say associated with the VXP target?
It's nasty, isn't it?
I guess that is what it is. There's just does not appear to be a smart way out, is there?
No, I didn't. It was, to be honest, I had a quick look. I mean, I'm slow building as I did last month for this fleet. I'm pleased it's a sub. It's nice to see a sub back again, but I don't think it'll be a traditional sub in the old tense. It's going to be a case of run away, kite, isn't it? So
Yeah.
there's going to be an awful lot of damage of these. You can see what's going to happen. Avoiding ice fields like the plague, and then trying to utilize obviously the dark, which looks like the sort of like speed up oil slick type things, to your advantage to sneak and turn. So I mean, the VXP target, if this is what it's going to be like, it's going to be a painful raid. Evade's going to be your friend without a doubt, and concussive protection is definitely going to be more than explosive protection. So I'm going 3 and 1. Yeah.
I'm putting Master Derpy on the main screen.
Yeah,
because the thing that I wanted to get across was the fact that there was a point in time where they boosted the impact of the Comrades, but they did not boost the impact of the CM shields, the side shields.
Mm-hmm.
And so that came out later. And so we'll see what because Derpy, I'm hoping you're going to emphasize the impact of the side shields at this point, as far as how they're going to actually impact the damage the players get.
I mean, you've got to be real careful in these targets, just because the number of things you start triggering. If you start triggering a lot of ships, the amount of incoming torps that you're going to get, no countermeasure is going to help you.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, because I don't even know it. Years ago, it's so hard.
Okay, watch out.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all getting taken down.
Yeah. See, they changed the accuracy from 135 to 400. They didn't do it last night. They did it today. So if he can keep his little peacock fans on both sides, it appears that it's no, it's not going to work against this
Explosives
guy.
No.
But as far as against these hunters, this is the thing I'm concerned about, as far as.
So there's a lot of shift clicking on this, isn't there? And you've got to be able to kill those ships before, obviously, the explosive stuff starts hitting you. It's a tricky target.
Well, what I'm seeing here is that the hunters' torpedoes, as long as they're in that green range, they're getting fucking shut down.
Mm.
Yep, and I only have 2 ships right here, so when you get 4, it will be a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, yeah, I've got a cormorant on each.
I have
each
one
ship.
cormorant on one ship.
Yeah, I've put one on each ship at the moment. On one.
Oh, there's the smart torpedo.
Yeah, I mean, you can avoid them. They're easy to avoid, aren't they? They're just annoying, but that's the semi smart torpedo, isn't it?
So I'm gonna have to zoom in and record this and slow this down to see how many times I'm shooting at each one of these.
Because it appears, well, now you got 2.
Oh, I'm gonna get overwhelmed here.
Yeah, and this is the issue. If you don't get them quick.
Well, it's for he only has 2 ships. That's the tricky part that's going on here, because I think, based on what I've seen, I think what they want is these side shields is just to be like, boom,
100% effective.
Yes.
I can't tell if they're shooting just one time at each torpedo, or if they're shooting multiple times. I can't tell. I don't even know if they're allowed to shoot multiple times.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, you're right. You need to slow it down, mate. It's a nightmare. And notice the spin rate. Your spin rate has got to be. I mean, are you using a evade crew? I can't see what you're using there.
Yeah, I've got a sea serpents on.
Yeah, I mean that's a must for this. I mean, you start stacking them up now because you're going to need loads of those.
So does this?
I have the salty dogs on rather, but sea serpent will be.
All right. Oh yeah, sea serp. Yeah, would definitely be the one.
Does this change your plan for the engines?
I've got some builds if you want to have a look at them. I've just done a couple of options.
It doesn't change my plan for the engine because I have 2 of them on already.
Right. And you went with the older one.
I have the Reef Rider engine on to increase damage.
Right.
So,
but if you change it's so interchangeable. Like, if you go Reef Rider, maybe at close to 100% or maybe 80%. But there's the whole other issue.
I've got 2 builds up now.
Because you could throw armors at it. Okay. In order to change it. Okay, 1 second.
Just something to discuss, really, to be honest.
Okay. No, for some reason it's all right. All right. I got you up there. Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously the left-hand option there obviously gets you your evade up, but that was before. Obviously, we just saw that obviously the countermeasure was working as well as it was, but and it gives you a bit more cussive resistance. So that's the only benefit you get there. Combat speed isn't quite so good, and that's with one of the older engines if you haven't got obviously the newer engine. But obviously that's with obviously quite a lot of evade as well, using guided scrambler. The other option, which is probably the latter one I'm going to go for, is the one on the right hand side, which is obviously with the reef engine, etc. and only one cormorant per ship, if necessary. Let's see what obviously the flagship comes with, because I might then just chuck them on the flagship only. We'll see how it works anyway, and make these just full power. But at the moment, obviously with the extra specials as well, then that puts up to nearly to 10 million damage, per ship, and quite a reasonable. I mean, don't worry about the turn speed, because obviously you get 150% bonus once you put the correct Sea Serpent crew on as well. So your spin rate will be perfectly fine. Combat speed 88, which is quite nice, and evade is still up there at 63. That's obviously without alliance bonuses, and obviously the bonus from the crew as well. So
okay, and you did your research, quote unquote, your research, hitting things. As far as at what point did you do that today? How many hours ago?
Only ranked about an hour and a half.
Okay, so it was an hour and a half ago. So you
Yeah, about that. I've done nothing since. I've got all mine at U1 at the moment now, so I've been doing that as opposed to building. So
but I'm saying the timing is critical, because there was a they were supposed to last night. They were intended to go from 135 accuracy to 400, but that did not happen until a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, so I only screenshot this about 20 minutes ago. I made this slide up about 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, when I recorded my testing video this morning, the left and right countermeasure arcs were not working nearly as well as they were when I just did it.
Yeah,
I think that's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, definitely.
That leads me to question: do I need 5 cormorants total, or 10 total, or somewhere in between? Then there's also a few more options of what you've shown. Some people like Hyper 30 in that evade slot, and you could even, if you wanted super evade, go with the old DCT armor, D5 CT armor that gives, if people don't know what I'm talking about, gives 5,000 concussor survival and 10% evade. That's another.
But as soon as you upgrade it, that soon disappears, though, doesn't it? That's the thing. As soon as you start going up to the U2, U3, I mean, I haven't got the stats here because obviously it's a snapshot, but there are options. I think it's until we see. I mean, if that VXP is a good, and they have been the last four raids, the VXP target has been a very good indication. So based off of that, I think 4 cormorants would probably get away with it. I don't think you need more than that,
unless they make you spawn inside the middle of an ice ring that have 20 ice fields around you and have 17 ships warping in towards you.
That's time to log off, isn't it?
Yeah, based on what I'm thinking, based off this target we just saw, is if you want to drive, you're getting all the concussive shot down by your left and right shields. So if you want to drive, evade's probably not as important.
Yeah. So, but turn is, and at the moment, and as Anthony just said there, at the moment I've got 3 CT armors on at the moment, just because you can avoid a lot of the obviously those torpedoes. They're generally coming in their explosive damage. As in these smart torpedoes.
So you're saying the smart torpedoes are explosive damage, and
generally, they were before. I haven't been hit by one yet, but because obviously my hulls were going there pretty naked, so obviously they didn't get to see the darn smart torpedoes. But last time they were explosive. So
what I'm seeing is that the only sources of explosive damage are from the smart torpedoes and from the proto nemesis.
But you can outrun most
else
stuff.
Is the regular torpedoes, and the Nighthawk has a short range Gatling gun or whatever. That appears to all be concussive. Yeah.
And this build here, the right hand one, which is the one I like to go for, is not an auto build. I wouldn't auto this, because you would then take all those smart torpedoes would be hitting you, so you probably actually want to go.
Them are going to be able to auto, are they? With the
well, they generally make one that is. We'll see how it goes.
They do. I do agree with Saint that it doesn't look like this is very auto friendly.
Nope.
I think maybe the auto one, you won't have the smart torpedoes in. So they might
that's about it. Yeah. I haven't had a chance to go back to last season's raid and have a look at it. They did manage to do an auto one, so in fact, it
didn't
wasn't
work
last
very
season.
well.
No, it didn't. But I mean, and it never does with skirmish. Skirmish is the one.
Oh, the skirmish. Actually,
you,
the mutineer had a pretty good one. At least the first mutineer raid had a really good one.
you don't get many resources. You don't normally get enough to freaking repair your ships, let alone anything else. So it's
That's when you scrap your old ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you start scrapping old ships just to keep your resources up. So yeah, quite funny. But hey, at least it's a proper sub this time. Well, of sorts.
It's not.
No. It's a Liam sub. We all know that.
Yeah, it's a land sub. Yeah, it's a notional sub. Well, let's just say, at least on the sea, it's underwater. Put it that way. I mean, in the target, it makes no difference.
So is the explosive damage not counterable? No.
The explosive damage from the Proto Nemesis is pretty much guaranteed. The explosive damage from the smart torpedoes you can dodge if you drive.
I mean, the proto ones, as you saw as they were firing, obviously that's an area effect splash sort of like weapon that's coming at you, sort of stuff, And the smart torpedoes the same. You get in that range, you definitely you know you're going to get hit. They're annoying, so just keep dodging the darn things, and you can outturn them very quickly. So
yeah, Anthony, what was your build as far as when you were only getting concussive damage? Because I'm confused by the whole thing. I'm seeing people that you're not getting any concussive damage, and then people
I'll bet you
all of it is
if you just build 4 blanks and only hit the hunters, you're only going to die with those 2 or 3 ships. You're only going to get concussive damage.
Yeah,
you only get explosive damage from the proto-nem and from the smart torpedoes if you make it far enough into the target.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, if you go in and actually split your ships up, so that you trigger proto far enough and then draw the hunters away from it, you will notice that then obviously you're getting, because that's what I was doing to have a little look at what the proto was doing, and then taking it from there. Because I was had a look at how much damage I got first by just using the hunters hit me, and then I went back and split it up and then let the proto hit me on the second time, and then that's when the explosives started kicking in as well, and I managed to get 1 smart torpedo to hit me as well. So. But I'm not rushing to build these because I already don't think this is going to be a very exciting raid set, personally.
Well, the last one wasn't either, was it?
Well,
I didn't mind it. I quite liked one of the targets. I thought they were all right.
You are quite, I mean, not to be a dick about it, but you are quite negative about the last raid cycle before it actually happened, to be honest.
Yeah, the one I liked actually was the co-op target in the end. I was doing loads of those, and actually the fact that obviously I managed to get the BP app working, and then obviously the auto target was very auto friendly. So
no, I agree. And when the Saint came on the show and gave his pattern for that, I was like, wow, boom, this is done.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty helpful.
I just drove that because it was tricky as far as like what you were triggering and what you were not triggering.
Yeah.
And the Saint, his pattern was spot on as far as not triggering too much nonsense.
Well, the problem with that is I had to drive the target to get those results. And by day 2, I don't want to drive the target. I want to auto it.
Exactly. Yeah. I was keeping away from it was 146. Was it 141, 146, 146? What a long ass target that was. I hated that one. It was just like the dullest thing in the world. I hated doing them. I'd rather do the co-op target quick and just get 300k, and then just keep doing loads of those because they were easy, and they were virtually instant fix. So.
No, I agree. I complained to Kickstarter about the 146. That was the one I complained about.
I asked a month. I asked in the first raid cycle, can we have a real auto target the second raid? If they don't have one this one, I don't know what I'll do.
Sulk, but you still do it.
Yes, or just not do the raid.
Okay. So, we've seen Turpy run through the target, which... Are you going to change your video, Derpy?
No. I
Well,
didn't include any actual videos of me in there. My question now is, do you really need, how many cormorants do you need? But
well, you also made recommendations associated with the number of, number of this armor versus that armor.
yeah, well, I was thinking torpedo is going to be the most damage, but
Mm.
now it looks like you can shoot most of them down.
Yeah,
I
So
think
now
if
I
you get
want to go
overrun,
for
though, mate, I
explosive.
think, that's
But-
great if you've only got 2 ships. But I think if you get overrun and start triggering a 3rd/4th,
Yeah.
I think you'll get overrun. You won't be able to keep them in those zones. I still think it's 3 concussive armor, 1 explosive.
And
I'll probably
it's
just go
really
2
going to
and 2.
depend how good a driver you are as well. If you're not the best driver, you might want more concussive.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to drive this target and say, okay, not say anything, but does anybody want to drive the target and be like, okay, this is what we're seeing as far as our battle log? Because it seems like we've seen a change based on what happened like 4 or 5 hours ago of my time, as far as the change of the CM shield from 135 accuracy to 400 accuracy. That if you drive this correctly, there's a change. It's not.
So if you drive this correctly, the current target, you should pretty much only take explosive damage.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because, like I said, I've never driven this target. I've just watched people drive it. I mean, which may be awful or whatever. But
I just think you have to be super lucky. I mean, you're guaranteeing then, or trying to guarantee, you're only going to trigger 2 hunters at a time. They're always going to be at 90 degrees to your ships. They're not going to split. You know, you're asking for too many multiples there. It's just not going to happen.
No, as far as driving, yeah, but driving.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to go with 3 explosive plates.
Yeah, the Saint.
That's why.
What are you getting on these targets at this point in time?
My ships have only got 3 torpedoes on at the moment. I'm nowhere near.
Okay.
No, I've got
Nowhere near
nothing.
full.
I've got nothing on mine apart from
I got
3
2
real.
torps on mine. I'd be happy to go and do whatever you want to do, but it isn't going to be very attractive.
No, the problem with nothing else, with no engines, no specials on, they just die straight away.
But you just need to split them up and then try and trigger 2 hunters to go south, and then get the proto, and then just rotate them. But I mean, at least, yeah. But if you've got no countermeasure on them, there's no point doing anything.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Well, if you're going to loan me, let's see, that's going to be 20 gold or so. No.
Yeah, I'm
mean-
sure you're having a party at Mill's End.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you that I'm planning on going with the build that TSM showed that had all the new specials on it, and the Shikaro Splash Shield special.
Yeah.
Except I'm at this point leaning towards going between 8 and 10 cormorants on the fleet, in case I want to auto it. Because if you auto it, you obviously can't position the torpedoes correctly, the countermeasure shields correctly.
So 8
Yeah,
and 10,
yeah.
you're almost saying just put the countermeasures on the countermeasure slots and be done with it almost.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's because it's basically all the new stuff, right? It's all the new stuff plus the the 6 times. It's
So
and the Liberty Belt. The Liberty Belt is the only thing.
yeah. So we have the new
Only tier 9, yeah.
Splash special. The other options here is Hyper 30 or Guidance Square number 3.
Mhm.
Also have the Critical special, which is new. We have the Bushido battery, which is new. We have the Kinjutsu countermeasure system, which is new. And then you want to throw on a damage boosting special of some sort, so that's the Liberty Belt. And then the engine is either Old Glory or Reef Rider. So that's most decisions made. And if you go with Reef Rider or Old Glory, it's not going to matter a whole lot either way.
It's not a huge amount. It's two on combat speed, and there's just a tiny little bit more, survival on there. So
Yeah.
but it's
Then-
negligible.
Then the 2 questions we have to ask ourselves are how many cormorants do we want to go for total?
I'm going
If
to leave
you
that slot
drive your
empty.
ass off in every single target, you might be able to. If you're going to drive everything, you might be able to go with 5.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna leave that slot
don't.
empty until I see the
Okay.
targets.
Okay, yeah, maybe save a 1-day build token for that,
Yep,
and
yep.
the last armor slot or so. Then you have to ask yourself your armors. I mean, most people are going to go with these ones. You're going to go with at least one X and at least one CT prop, and you have to decide where are these last two going to be. I'll probably go one of each. Other people might go 3 concussive. So this build right here, 14 days, 21 hours. I guess it doesn't apply exactly because of refit bonuses. But I figure, will this stuff right here be about a day? If you leave 1, 2, 3
On average,
things
yeah,
open?
an armor, and it's just over that, be about 1 day and an hour or something like that. That normally is. If you leave the slot blank, obviously taking off doesn't matter anymore, does it? So it's easy. So, I mean, you can if you want to. I mean, obviously depends on how you plan ahead. I mean, I didn't need to do any coining to get my fleet ready last time. I don't intend to this time because I'm pretty content to just leave those slots empty, wait to see the targets, and then make a decision as the raid progresses. So pick up some of the tokens in the raid to finish them off. So we'll see. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it's difficult to tell. Wait and see what they bring out on their guide as well, because their last guide was actually pretty accurate. It was quite decent actually. They came out quite early, so.
Did it?
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I thought it was okay.
Okay. Not really what I'm thinking, but
I thought it was better.
Well, I made
than
my
previous.
version. I made my version today, so I have a month start on Kixeye.
Until they change everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have no idea if they changed things or not. So.
No, but their descriptors were pretty good, to be honest. I was actually quite impressed, and the time frame was okay. As long as they give you 24 hours notice, 36 is fine. You don't need more than that, to be honest.
I would rather know what I'm trying to have my ships do when I'm building them, rather than guessing.
But 80% of this ship is scripted. You can't really do anything about it. There are no other options. This is such a scripted build.
But that last 20% matters because we're going to run out of build time.
But just say your last token.
I mean, the only thing is the weapon. I'm sorry, is the engine. The engine's the only thing that's left over, right?
The engine,
and a
1 or 2 armor slots, and 1 or 2 countermeasure slots.
Yeah,
and then maybe the evade special.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, I don't know. Is there something else we should be talking about at this point in time?
Yeah, don't put gales on your submarines. They won't fire. Even if they're mortars. Gales do not fire when a ship is underwater.
Yeah. Besides the Cormorant, there's nothing. Yeah, there's no reason. I completely agree with you.
Well, I'm going to go try one so I can start the repair, so I can maybe do a refit overnight a little bit. And I don't know
Sounds
if you
like
want to see it or not, but it's pretty scantily tired fleet. So it might be a waste of time, but I'm going to do one to get one out of the way. Your call.
Okay. No, go ahead. Just put it out there.
Sure, or just do it.
Less talking, more action.
What's that?
I said less talking, more action.
All right. So,
okay. Yeah, gales are no. They're not going to fire, and they're not going to fire because they're underwater. They're not going to fire because
there's no mortars in the target.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Even if you hit all targets.
Yeah.
I do think that
what Callie said the main reason for watching was for Kenny, but what do you think about that?
Fan base, is that what it is it?
They want Kenny back.
No.
Well, no. They like to watch Kenny die.
Fandom, yeah.
Well, yeah. But yeah. So I was more asking what. What?
I said I'm on share. It could be quick. It's up to you.
Yeah, come on, share your screen. Come on.
I am.
All right.
Just send one up north by itself if you can, and then that'll give that a chance for the proto to come out.
Wow,
Say that again.
that is complicated. Look at all the stuff that's moving around.
Well, I'm trying to stack them up.
I know, but if you look at the
It's like Star Wars TIE Fighter stuff.
yeah, it's interesting as far as what's going on there.
Slow motion. Okay, maybe I'll stack this time. There we go. Okay, so what would you like to see?
I would just try and send one to the north if you can. Sort of like send the rest of them down at sort of like southwest, and then they'll trigger the hunters, and then try and park them at 90 degrees just to see if they do counter anything at all. But you have to zoom in. If you've got any counters on at all, have you?
No, it's a real bear. It's got.
All right. Okay. All right.
So just
It's
die.
2
Mike.
tarps on each one, pretty much.
Make
It's
Callie happy. Somebody's got to die.
I'm going to do the best I can.
Fill in for
Yeah,
Kenny.
I don't think you'll kill a single ship personally, but there we go.
I think you're right.
Yeah, just drag that one there by itself up to the top corner.
Yeah, I just did that. And I'm going to waste a silver salty.
Well, you're not wasting it.
No, I'm not wasting it. In fact, I'm probably going to use some tokens so I really don't waste it.
Yeah, I just ran out of all my repair tokens. I only used like 12 of them today.
I actually found a use for them, so it was good.
Honestly, most people should probably not use repair tokens because what else are you going to be repairing this week? So you're going to have extra, if you use them all on your fleet, you're going to have extra time spent slow repairing.
The problem I got is I don't want to waste the salty. I only have like 4 of them for some odd reason.
Someone killed Kenny.
There's a point straight away. Look, see, they're not bunching up. So even if you're angling to get one of those ships inside that zone, the other one's doing its own thing. They got separate. I mean, they're automated patterns.
Their torp came right through.
Yeah, and they would, but you've got no counter on, so that's fine. Obviously, you know.
But
you don't have any.
The hero shield should be firing, and that doesn't seem to be firing.
yeah,
Nothing.
I can't tell you zoom so far out.
I thought there was an onboard.
Try and zoom in if you can quickly.
And then if you
No.
Yeah, I know. I hit the wrong.
if you depending on what specials you have, your projectile speed might be low. Your on that one, the range.
They're bare ships, I think.
They're bare. There's nothing on it.
So, but there's my point. Look, I mean, that's the thing. Look, they are not stacking. It's not as if they're coming in, stacking together, and then hitting you.
Well, that was fun.
They're automated patterns that they're taking, you know, in their eccentric circles and that sort of stuff. So to keep them in the range, you're going to be able to focus on one at a time, and shift clicking, it's going to be a complex target to take down.
yeah.
I think it will be easier than it is now when we have a whole fleet because you can probably kill a hunter in 1 or 2 volleys of your 5 ships.
But you still have to spin round in a circle. Man.
Yeah, you have to do a lot
and they're going to get some. They're going to get some rounds off.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't get things perfect, they're going to get through the special. Right?
Yeah,
they're going to get through. So it's certainly a skill fleet in that regard.
This is where Liam should be playing again.
Yeah.
Funny. He used to love his subs.
He did what he did.
He did what he did. You're not wrong there. One of them was not driving.
Yeah, Jesus walked on water and Liam drove subs.
Yeah, exceptionally badly.
Well, I could take over.
Yeah, here with your slander.
Exceptionally badly at driving.
It's only slanderous if it was make believe, but it wasn't. It was true. He'd be the first to admit it.
So it gave 54% with a silver.
Hey, there's a silver lining in everything, eh?
Yeah, so maybe I'll use up some tokens and go back and get some more. No.
Yeah, that's what I did. I used my tokens, ranked mine up, and now I'm just doing the 4th one to you one. And then I'll start tomorrow. I'll start actually doing some builds. So.
I actually have, holy crap, got a lot of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready to move forward? Or
Yeah.
you want to talk about the calendar at all?
I don't know.
No.
Is anything else we should be talking about?
Nothing's really changed since when.
You can
No.
spend this week of FM tokens. I personally am going to start saving 3 weeks worth. I'll spend on the flagship that we're going to get in Village. Most people should save at least 2 weeks worth to save on the flagship we get in Village.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And there'll be a TLC at some stage, won't there? So
Next week.
Yeah, it'll be next week. Next week, we'll get the we'll get the next stage of that. So
Skirmish TLC on December 23rd. For
lovely.
that week, anyway.
Ho ho ho.
Just in time for Christmas. And then Krampus Knot begins at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we can use
Sea wolves. Woo.
snow wolves.
Snow Wolves.
Snow wolves, yeah.
Should be. I hope it's going to be fun.
I hope so too.
I hope it's going to be a bit of silly fun. I hope so.
It's
I'm
all
looking forward
fun.
to that.
Some's more fun than others.
Well, the last one was good fun. I quite like the last one.
The last raid wasn't. What do you mean, the event or the?
The last event last year, I thought it was quite like running around with banana boats and stuff like that. I thought it was quite good fun.
All right, you want to talk VP next week? Cafe?
Let's do that next week.
I think we talked about it. I don't know. Is there anything anybody sees there? I mean,
We didn't talk about it yet.
I talked about it.
Okay.
Well, interestingly, I mean, it says there's 10.52, 10.53 are together, so they're probably off Christmas or Christmas week or whatever else. So they're not really going to be able to incorporate any new changes.
I don't know. I've been
Looking
away
at
a bit, so I didn't catch up on the last couple of shows. Did you speak about the Harrower changing its projectile speed? Did you cover that?
We didn't talk about it, but that just makes it better in fleet versus fleet combat, right?
It's much better. Yeah. It's definitely better in base hitting as well.
To be honest, I try to use the in the VXP target. You know, I had a harrower, I had it built. I was like, okay, I'm gonna level it up this way. It never hit a single thing.
So,
Yeah.
so Hefe, you're in Sector 70. Why don't you get a few fleets out? I'll take my Harrower. We can go do a trial by combat.
It's back to a really good little ship now. Because when it was down to like 75 or something stupid, now it's been pushed back up again. It's actually, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm quite impressed with it. Because they basically nerfed the thing so hard that it was just it was awful. But now it's definitely back to a usable state again.
Okay. It's all good. So
I was out triggering some friendly responses today with mine. So
Well, just remember, don't eat the yellow snow.
very much so. Yeah.
yeah.
Mind you saying that we've got to get some first.
Well, according to this, we might. That's reading what she wrote.
Okay, let's see how good the Harrower is against a Subjugator.
Yeah, do we need health list for the Krampus Snowbrow here?
No idea.
Yeah, that's gonna be tricky.
That's a good point, actually. What's my whole count? I've recycled a stack of stuff the other day, so what am I at the moment?
I'm going to guess they'll let you overfill, but that's just a guess.
Oh, I've been overfilling. It's like...
Because they overfilled your trenchers you got like 2 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to share my screen? I'm going to sink someone's fleet.
Oh, is it mine?
Oh no.
No, it's not yours. Don't worry.
Mhm.
It's some poor level 94s. It's on auto. So I'm just going to roll up, surface.
And then just
Where do I want to surface?
90 degrees.
Doesn't matter.
Just
90 degrees.
Just make sure you get all of them in your range, that's all.
Okay.
So make sure the wallhound's in range. There you go, that'll do. Just sit there.
Oh, they're moving. Why are
Sometimes they
moving?
go to the center, don't they? And now they'll come back on you. Look.
Oh, they just died in one shot. It does seem a bit faster. Yeah, it's definitely harder to escape from.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely...
it still takes about the same number of shots. It still takes the same number of shots to kill a defending fleet, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Okay, I'm gonna go give out some parking tickets.
No.
Oh, God.
How to be evil. Well, a fun day on PvP today. It's been quite amusing.
Just stop making friends.
Always making friends.
Of course. Why not?
I get people messaging me, back when the Conqueror repair key first came out, we had 2 repair keys. I started hitting people during the raid. I got someone messaging me, unsubscribe, hitting during the raid. How dare you?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Were they cute girls?
Well, her name was probably Tom.
Unsubscribe.
Her name is what?
Her
Her
name
name
was
was probably
Richard.
Tom. Tom or
Okay.
Richard.
Okay, well, that might
Bob.
change things, to be honest.
Her name was Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that's what I was looking for. Yeah. Oh, okay. Her name was, Ruth.
A Blackadder thing. Bob.
Yeah, whatever.
It was a boy named Sue.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Anyway, not to worry. Yeah. So the calendar is not that exciting. The snow brawl should be interesting when that comes out. I'm quite looking forward to messing around with snow wolves. I hope they're really fast.
PSM, were you the one who asked for a hole specific for just one time, one use for one event? Was that you?
I don't know. Did I?
You wanted more ships?
Possibly. I don't know, mate. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know me.
I mean, I wonder if the Snow Wolf will do fleet on fleet battles after the event.
Oh,
Because that could be fun.
Well, even if they could just hit other snow wolves, so we could all just charge around
Yeah.
getting each other's.
Yeah, remember those days?
Yeah, that was great fun.
It was. So,
Well, I still think the funnest event was when the gunboat event. I still think that was the funniest thing we ever did.
that's the best one.
That was the best thing that happened for years, and it was just a right laugh. That was. But potentially, I mean, but this will probably end up being like a sort of semi TLC thing, like the previous one. You'll just have to go into set targets and won't be able to use it for anything else, and can't hit each other on the sea. So it probably won't be as exciting as we were hoping.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
that mechanic's been taken away from us.
Is this just for BP? We got that, and what else? Is there no TLC next week?
Yeah, the TLC's 3 campaigns, the new Return to Honor Ronin campaign, Creeping Barrage, and Hold the Line.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the hold the line one. Yeah.
Okay, so that will be that's the important TLC to go through then.
Well, the new Ronin.
Hold the line. So where did Hold the Line originate with?
Gatekeeper, Defender, Don't Move.
No.
No, he's
I'm more speaking with.
Toto.
Yes, that's more what I was speaking with. As far as like
Song.
where did Hold the
Oh, you
Line originate?
youngsters. Yeah. Go Google it. Go YouTube it. Hold the line.
Hold the line. Yes. Yeah. I do. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
We're done.
we're done. I think we're done.
Done.
Yeah, put a fork in that Hefe.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
Stop complaining.
I think Hold the Line is, it is a thing. But, thank you everybody for showing up and being part of the show. But yeah, I mean, Hold the Line is, there's things that should be paid attention to. But yeah, no, I respect everybody that shows up, and I wish the best for all you. So,
Thank you very much.
and take care, and
See you next week then.
Exactly.
Good night, all.
And I think I'm still cuter than. What were you saying?
Time to go.
All right, later, people.
Have a
Later.
ball, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
You all have a pleasant evening.